Yes, that'd be because I had mute on. So I hope you can hear now. Do let us know in the chat if you're not able to hear even now. So welcome, Lynn and Vara. So we'll be the main objective of tonight is that we have a nice meditate together. We'll have a little bit of chat. We've got a lovely talk from the founder of Sahaja Yoga, Shri Mataji Devi, who is a very unique person. She has taken us to the next level in our life, which is to become spiritual human beings. So it's not the end of the story to be a Homo sapien, apparently.
No, it's not.
So she has helped us understand what our subtle system is and how we're operating, that we have different compartments in our life. We have a big history in our life, and it's all been culminating in the now of confusion. So don't be depressed and upset about all the chaos and confusion and lack of clarity in what human beings are supposed to be doing. I mean, if you look around, you could be very depressed because, you know, we've got such an eye on everything happening in the entire world that it's a big chaos. And there's a way out. And it's been written about for thousands of years, which is amazing. I mean, I find it amazing that we got to this point, that there is reason in our existence. We're here for a reason. It's not just a pointless...
And what's more sort of not amazing, the opposite of amazing is the solution is here, but it's very few people who want to take it up.
And, you know, as we've been saying the last couple of weeks, which you'll reiterate for us, it's something so simple that it's easy to walk on by.
Yeah.
Because we're so used to trying to get 5 PhDs about everything. I mean, some people are really very good in the brain, but alas, the brain is not going to take us there. So it's very disappointing for the very smart people.
It is. Because
on the other hand, those not quite so smart, it's brilliant. No, I'm being simplistic about that.
Yeah, I think on the being smart people, I remember this story about George Datzig, I think it's called.
Oh, this is the one you were telling me about. This is very interesting.
So this person, he turns up late to the class. He's a student, comes late to the class, and then he sees 2 problems written in a mathematics class, statistics class actually. He saw 2 problems written on the board. He notes them down, and then remember he's late to the class. And then he goes home because he has to finish that homework, so he thinks. But the problems were so hard, he hands it in to the professor a few days or weeks late. And then he goes to the professor and said, "Hey, look, Prof, I know I'm a bit late. Do you care to see these things, solutions of these problems?" And the professor says, "Yeah, fine, chuck it in there." And then George thinks, well, the professor's desk is already full. Maybe he'll never look at it. 6 weeks later, I think I read, is that the professor comes in the morning, knocks the door of the student. His wife opens it. And then the professor says, I've written everything. You just have to have a look. We'll put the paper for publication. So what that means is that he thought it is really original work. And this George doesn't really get it, like what is happening kind of thing. So it so happens that those 2 things written on the board were until then unsolved mysteries in statistics, unsolved mathematical problems. And this guy solves it. And he solved it because he didn't know that they were unsolved problems. He just thought it was homework, and he solved it.
And had he exhibited like lots of smarts before? Or no, he'd always been late and missed stuff?
But probably like a sort of a,
He must have had a good sort of probing mind, a bit.
It's like, when you go to a class, the teacher gives you homework, and if you don't finish your homework, you'll be in trouble or you miss your grade. So he solved it like any other thing.
Yeah.
So more than he's being smart, I think the interesting thing is that he was not conditioned to the hardness of the problem.
Yeah.
So the thing with being conditioned is, I can bet that if he was told that it is an unsolved mystery until that point in history, he probably wouldn't have solved it.
Yeah.
So the concept we're talking here is about being conditioned. So imagine if you just think about yourself, on a daily basis, how many times are we conditioned that we may be a failure in something? And it's a sort of a big deal, because you're not only conditioned that, for example, Sahaja Yoga, a lot of people ask us, this whole meditation thing can't be that easy.
Yeah.
Because they're conditioned to think that it is hard, you have to go to the forest, you have to read 200 books.
And do all of these complicated exercises to try and quieten your mind.
Correct.
Yeah.
So it's very hard to believe. And there is other thing they're conditioned to believe is that you need to pay for it.
Oh, yeah.
And we have to go to extreme lengths to explain that you cannot pay for it. So, and then this is in a spiritual sense, but in a worldly sense, if you want to achieve something and then if somebody has told you that you're stupid all your life,
Yeah.
you end up not
Yeah.
being able to get on with your life. So the idea is that conditioning is something that is restricting us in reaching our full potential.
Yeah. And you can think of things in your life where that happens, like you think you're too old to compete in something, sporting.
You are a cyclist, Lynn. What's about that?
And so
Lynn is a cyclist, professional cyclist.
And so normally, if you go in club races, it's like all age groups. So, you know, the more mature age would not expect to win.
Forget winning. They won't expect to be in top 10.
No. So if you go into something, which I did recently, thinking, okay, I'll just practice, doing the first half easier and the second half this. It'll, be a race technique that I'll practice in this race for one that's I'm in one with my age group. And so I went into it and did all that. And it's an individual time trial, so you can't see really where everyone else is. So you just concentrate on yourself and doing it and enjoying it. And then you finish, and then I'll wait around while everybody's having their presentations and whatever. And then they say, they do the third, and then they say second is me. And I go, no way. And I came second because I had absolutely no expectation. Whereas, normally I would go, I'll try hard, but I don't think I can do it. And so then you don't do well because you're trying too hard.
If you had talked to me, I would have said, auntie, forget it.
Yeah, exactly. Why are you bothering? It's unimportant.
Correct. So that's a very good example there. So today we are concerned about conditioning in the sense of not being able to meditate, not being able to reach the yoga, as we say, the union of yourself with the all-pervading divine energy. So Shri Mataji talks about it in that aspect. So how about we listen to Mother's?
Okay. Yep.
So she's Shri Mataji Nirmala Devi, but we're so fond of her because she has given us this technique we call her mother. So if you hear us saying the word mother without even thinking about it, that's we're addressing the lady in the photograph in the back.
So this should happen, actually.
Yeah. Good. Space bar.
And that in that way, the Kundalini will rise spontaneously and people will get their realization. Because for an Indian actually, not the westernized, but a real Indian, the highest goal in life is to get self-realization. When my grandchild was born, you see, her horoscope was cast. And when the horoscope was cast, they sent a telegram from my family, the astrologist. The great thing, her guru is in her own family. She's a born realized. But they said, but for them this was the greatest to send a telegram to us saying it's the greatest thing that she has her guru in her family so that she can get her realization. So this is what it is. The whole attention of the people in India should be, if they follow their traditions, is to get self-realization. But as the Western people impressed them so much, you see, so much of impression came from them. We had to learn about your sciences, your all these things, and we just forgot. Not easy to talk to Indian doctors about how parasympathetic, if it is mastered, you can cure any disease whatsoever. Because they learn only from you. Now, even if some people want to talk, what happens? That they think we are sort of challenging their ego. But the problem is, even about religion or God, one cannot talk. In the meanwhile, I'm very happy that Jung had warned that be careful about India. That was a very big thing for him. Because Jung came to know about India through people, some German writers who went to India. Now their main interest is to find support of the Freudian theory, that what is sex, this thing, that thing, only that. Even you'll be surprised, Japanese have the same interest about India. They want to come and see what is Tantrism and how these erotic things are there, and they take zoom lenses, you see, go up into very hazardous way on top of the these old temples to take a photograph of erotic things. This is some surprising for us. We never say these things while they are doing. Because when in the 6th century, after the advent of Adi Shankaracharya, who also propounded that it is the Kundalini who has to be awakened, and unless and until you get your realization, you are nowhere near religion. These people came up just to attack, the negative attack. And all of them formed a very big belt, starting from Bengal, going round through the middle of India, going towards Gujarat. And there they propounded that it is through sex you can achieve your realization. Because that was the only way they could make some money out of it also, by helping the very licentious and permissive rulers in those days, by telling them that the sex is the way you can achieve. Now here you can see very clearly that the center which is supporting or which looks after the sex activities below the Kundalini. In Sanskrit also it is written Shata Chakravedi, means six centers are to be pierced through. Shata Chakra, 6, not the 7. But these people said that this is the Kundalini is in this center which looks after the sex. Now, I as a mother, I don't want to condemn them so much, so I would say that may be a mistake also. Because here resides a deity, a symbol, as you call it, which has got the head of an elephant. Because elephant is the wisest animal. And the head of an animal signifies that such a person never gets ego. It's the human beings only, the human animal only gets the ego part of it. So to suggest that it's the pituitary only active, and that it is an innocent, to represent the innocence in us, this symbol they must have seen, but not the whole of it, must have seen a part of that trunk, and they must have thought that this must be the Kundalini. So to give them a full benefit of the doubt, I would say like that, but people took too much advantage of it. So they started big competitions, that those people who can produce such erotic art and all that will be given so much money, and this can happen, that can happen. Artists would not take to it. So they gave them lots of temptations that so they should accept. Like in Nepal, they gave another temptation by saying that supposing, you see, if you make the temples out of the wood, they can be destroyed. But the virgin, who is the, according to Indian mythology, is the thunderbolt. And the thunderbolt, if you want to keep it out, better make things that she won't come near. Just to make it repulsive, they made it. They gave all kinds of arguments. Like they told the ministers, you see, were very austere people, and they wanted to have their own temples. So they told the king, all right, to please you, we'll have some licentious thing outside, but inside we'll keep very pure. Because that is life, that is fertility, this and that, all kinds of stories and theories they made up just to create this kind of a new cult there. Now what happens? Why they did it? Is a very important point one should note, why these people tried to bring down divinity, purity to that level. The reason was that when you start insulting divinity or purity, then that area becomes absolutely hollow. When the purity is removed, then you can do whatever you like in that area. You can get possessions there, you can get all kinds of spirits there, you can do all kinds of witchcraft and all those things, if you somehow or other create an area where divinity doesn't want to. This was the principle. And that's what exactly they used to create an area of this kind. Like there's a very great temple in India called Kamakhya, Devi's temple, and all these tantrikas went there and tried to do that, like having sex relationship in the temples and things like that. And by that they saw to it that whatever is divine that is showing there should be removed, and all the negativity could be brought in. Now, in the 10 Commandments, it is said, whatever is created by the Mother Earth should not be reproduced and should not be worshipped. Now we should find out what is created by Mother Earth. This point we miss. Whatever is created by Mother Earth, that Mother Earth herself has produced something different. Now in India people know about it, that it is. I went to a place called Musalwadi in a village because I work more in the villages. And there they told me a story that Mother, there's a place here where an Englishman came about 100 years back, an engineer, and he tried to build a bund for creating a nice tank there. And what happened that at a particular point, about 20-30 meters, he could not build it. Whenever he tried to build it, next day it used to be finished off. So he was quite surprised, and he's written down in his own diary and all that. They have published the diary also. He had to make a bund like this and go around and then make it further. So I wanted to go and see the place. And when I saw the place, I knew this is something created by the Mother Earth. Now how do you know it is created by the Mother Earth is the point which I'll come later on. So there are places created by the Mother Earth already to vibrate the divinity, the purity, the whole expression of her compassion and love for human beings. But unless and until you are a realized soul, you cannot feel them and understand them. Only a realized soul can feel them and understand them. For example, Stonehenge. I went there. Stonehenge is the same stone. But the problem with them is that the people who are druids, who are doing all this worship, don't know what it is. They don't know how to use it. So in this way, the Mother Earth has also created so many such places which have come out of the Mother Earth, and they are. In India there are many places like that, like in Maharashtra we are Ashtavinayak, 8 of the symbols of the innocence deity as you say. Now because people are not realized souls, one cannot talk to them. Because if I say that is the thing, how will you know? So when the Kundalini ascends to the center, you see that subject is so great that even if I give 1,000 letters I cannot cover it. So the thing is, I'll try to cover every point little bit here and there. When the Kundalini ascends, I told you the cool breeze starts coming out of your head. So what happens to you? For the first time you feel the cool breeze of the Holy Ghost. Now somebody will deny Christ. That was wrong to deny Christ, I must tell you very frankly. It's a conditioning. It's a conditioning to deny Him. Because, you see, by denial, what you have done, you have denied an incarnation who came at that point. But the way they have made out of Christ, naturally anybody would deny. The way they made Him an incarnation, anybody would deny. When I got my birth, I should say I got it because I deliberately got born into a family which was a Protestant Christian, because they are the most sophisticated fanatics. Absolutely, because it's such a rational thing they have made out of Christ that I thought this is the place I should be born, so that I will be able to tell them that this is not Christianity, this is not Christ. So the way they made Christ, naturally people denied Him. But He is the one who has suffered for us. Definitely. So there is no suffering needed for us at all. If you ask for suffering, you will suffer. Only thing, He is to be awakened here. Now, if I say about Christ or anyone, it should not be taken for granted at all. Nobody should take it for granted. What happens when the Kundalini rises? Say it is here in the stomach. Many people who have been to wrong gurus, who have been following wrong things, or those who think I am the guru, I know how to do it and I am the one who has done it, they have to take the name of Moses. Unless and until you take his name, it won't rise. Kundalini won't rise. Now when it reaches this point, you have to take the name of Christ. Here you have to take the name of Mohammed. Who was Mohammed? Nobody else but Moses. Moses himself was born. You will be surprised that Islamic people today are following Sharia. What is Sharia? If you have read Bible, it is the same as written for the Jews. Same thing they are following. What is written in the Bible they are following. we are not following it, but they are following it, which was said because when Moses came down, he found these people in such a big mess and such a big hell that he had to make a very, very strict law to pull them out of that hell. And that's why he gave such strict laws. Actually, if you have read the books of Essenes, I was surprised that many people who have read it showed it to me, that they really clearly said that the laws were not so strong. But Moses had to make them so strong because people were absolutely hellish and they were going down so rapidly that he made those laws. But surprisingly, they are more followed by the Muslims and imposed on. Now, if you want to know that what you are, say a Muslim wants to know about himself, he should go and ask a Jew. And if you want to know about the Jew, you should go and ask the Christian. And if you want to know about a Christian, you can ask an Indian. So it is the opinion of others will correct your conditioning in the mind because you are born in one religion. It's a conditioning. It's absolute conditioning, and this is the worst conditioning that people have. Then how will you accept the truth? If you are conditioned, you can never accept truth. And that's why the Indian fake gurus have done one thing. You see, they are very clever, cunning, absolutely cunningness personified. They all came down here first with the idea, we don't talk about religion. Finished. So they suit us very well. If they don't talk about religion, about God, then they are the best because it doesn't come in conflict with our conditioning that we have. So they talk about flying in the air, for which people have paid 6,000 pounds each for flying in the air. I am the one in 1970. I openly took their names and denounced them and told the people who they were in previous lives. And that time, you see, so many of my disciples started shaking. They said, Mother, what will you do? They are going to kill you. I said, let them try. Try their levels. So these fake gurus came here, started the cult and started all kinds of these things. First of all, don't talk of God. And if you talk of God, then just make the person such a slave that he cannot get out. They use the supraconscious or they use the left-sided subconscious. And that's how they have attacked your being.
So let's go through the self-realization and get our spiritual nature awakened and strengthened. So let's just close our eyes and try to take our attention inside. We can just focus briefly on our breath, just to try to come into the present moment. So we're going to try and awaken our spiritual nature and identify with our spirit, which is within all of us. And we all have that mothering energy at the base of the spine. But let's start with our right hand on our heart on the left side. And we're asking Mother Nature, Mother within us, please make me a spiritual being. Please awaken and connect me to my spirit, the pure spirit, which is the reflection of divinity within me. We'll just go down to the hip area, which is the base of our spine, which is where our nurturing, mothering energy resides, just waiting to awaken all these pure qualities within us and unite us with the bigger, all-pervading energy of divine. So we're asking our Mother Kundalini, mothering energy, please awaken the pure desire to be one with my spirit. Please awaken my pure desire to be one with my spirit. And let's go back up to our heart. And let's just confirm and affirm that I am pure spirit. We'll say a few affirmations as we go higher. At the neck area, we'll clear any guilt that we have a habit of feeling because wrongly or rightly we judge ourselves and feel guilty about things rather than just facing them and departing from them, letting them depart. So let's say to ourselves that I'm not guilty. And I'll face anything that I feel I've done wrong rather than hiding it here and feeling guilty about it. Because I am the pure spirit. I'm not all those actions of the past or things that I can't control. So let's just simply say, mothering energy, Mother Nature, I'm not guilty. I'm not guilty. You feel guilty, it constricts the flow of our spirit. I'm not guilty. A few more times to yourself, really meaning it. So with your heart. And now let's bring our right hand up to the forehead, dropping our forehead in the palm of our hand. And here, as was described by Shri Mataji, the key is to forgive. So let us simply forgive everyone. I forgive everyone. And very importantly, I forgive myself. I forgive. This poor brain center gets very overworked. So let's try and relieve it from the reverse side as well. So tipping our head back, resting it in the palm from behind. And just finally clear out anything we can say that Mother Nature, if I've done any mistakes, knowingly or unknowingly, please forgive me. And let's come up to the top of our head, stretching our palm, placing the center of the palm on the center of the top of our head, just pushing down on that seventh energy center where we're now entering, or entering again if we've done this before. Just rotate the scalp and desiring from our heart, we'll ask, Mother Kundalini, Mother Nature, please give me my self-realization. And this is the realization of the spiritual side of our nature. Please give me my self-realization. Please let me feel the silence of my spirit. Please strengthen and establish my connection with my spirit. And now as you raise your hand above your head, if you've done this before especially, you should start to feel a bit of a flow. It might be warmish, might be cool. Ultimately, it will be cool. Just find that spot where the energy is flowing. And keeping your attention there. Try with the other hand. Sometimes our conditioning might be quite strong. We'll feel different things in both the hands. Just raising your hand up, see if you can feel that flow. Don't worry if you're not too sure, just wherever you feel it might be. In any event, keep your attention above your head. The two hands then come open on your lap. Don't forget to keep breathing. And from your heart, you're asking your own mothering energy to please let me feel the silence of my spirit. If any thoughts come, don't worry about them. Just don't answer the thought. Or you can just tell the thought you'll thank you later. You might start to feel also on your hands a bit of a flow happening in the palms, some tingling on the fingers, which is your spirit telling you the state of all of your energy centers. So just slowly opening your eyes. That's our first meditation. We can hold our hands up a little bit and we can just ask our energy, our Mother Nature, please show me the condition of my being. And just see what you're feeling in your hands, because that energy now will just start to guide you in your life and show you where you are. Just see what you're feeling inside, if you're feeling peaceful, and something flowing cool in the center of your hands ultimately. And we'll develop that in a minute. Lara will take us a little further with that.
So, if you can look at the chart closely for a minute. So I thought we'd connect what Shri Mataji was talking about conditioning.
Yes.
And what the process that you took us through, that Shri Mataji taught you. If you can zoom in a bit more, is that possible? Yeah. Thank you. So if you see on the bottom of the chart, there is this triangle. It says Kundalini next to it. So the process that Lynn took us through awakens that energy. And when it's awakened, it goes through all the energy centers from the bottom to the top. Wherein Shri Mataji was saying in Sanskrit, Shat chakra. So it clears it pierces through the 6 centers and then reaches to the top. So in that you see on the right side of the head, you'll see a blue line, call it a balloon. So that is where we get all the conditionings. So self-defeating conditionings usually. Also, it could be aggressive conditionings as well, like racism and so on. So when the Kundalini raises up, if it raises successfully, then it clears those things as well. And when you meditate regularly, those conditionings weaken, and then you reach closer to your spirit. If you can zoom out again. So what we can do is we can say some prayers today to clear that conditioning.
Mm. Nice.
So we can put both our hands on the lap. With our right hand on the heart. Let's first Thanks, Shri Mataji, for giving us our self-realization. Only once we get to our self-realization, all the dormant powers lying within us get awakened. And one of those powers is to clear ourselves without the help of any other human being. Just yourself with the knowledge given by Shri Mataji. So here you say, Mother, please awaken all the powers in me. We drop our right hand towards the ground. Here we say, Mother, please clear me of all the problems in my left channel. Mother, please remove all the lethargy and all the conditionings. You can put our right hand just above our right ear. And here you say, Mother, please remove all the negative conditionings in my subtle system. Mother, please remove all the negative conditionings in my subtle system. On the opposite side of the conditioning balloon, there is ego. So you can put our right hand above the left ear, left hand above the left ear. And here we say, Mother, please remove all the negative effects of ego. Mother, please remove the quality of self-importance in me that makes me look down upon others. Put your hands on the lap. Say, Mother, please remove my conditionings and ego so my Kundalini can reach my Sahasrara or the ultimate energy center. And put our right hand on top of the head. Press it gently. Here we say, Mother, thank you for our self-realization. Just let our attention stay on top of the head, not engage with our thoughts, and meditate with a bit of music in the background. We can again raise our right hand on top of the head and observe the space between your hand and the head. You can put that hand down and try the same with the other hand. Now in this process, you might have reached a state where all thoughts disappear. Just reflect on that for a minute, whether you felt a space of time where no thought existed. If you have, that is what is called the union, the yoga of your spirit with the all-pervading divine energy. Now all that you could get in within an hour.
Yeah,
So
it's nice.
what do they do next? Right?
I think you want to show everyone how to do their meditation at home, the short form.
Yeah. So you could put both your hands there. So please continue meditating every day. So to do that, find yourself a space in the house. Well, if you're in Canberra, you could come to Dixon Library, 10:30.
Thursdays?
Thursdays.
Next 5 Thursdays.
For next 5 Thursdays, and you'll be handed over a bit more information. Until then, you do this process when you start meditation. So Philip Frankham will read out that whole announcement. So if you can put your left hand in front of it, in front of your body, and you raise your kundalini, as we say, to the top of the head and make a knot. 1. And you do that again. And make 2 knots. You do 1 last time. 3 knots on top. And then you create a protection around yourself, like that, with the right hand going over your left arm. That counts as 1. You go back to where you started, 2, and you do that 7 times. When you do that, keep your attention on top of the head. You can read out the announcement. Good.
Thank you, Aaron. Up until the 12th of September, every Thursday, at the Dixon Library, which is in Anthill Street at the Dixon Shopping Centre, Sarah and I are running some programs from 10:30 to 11:30. Thursdays, for the next 5 Thursdays, Dixon Library, you're most welcome to come along and just discover more about yourself. And basically we pass on how we can actually become our own teacher in the sense of looking after ourselves through Sahaja Yoga. You're most welcome.
Thank you.
Well, there was something else you wanted to show everyone, a website where...
yeah, that's right. So what we do when we play Shri Mataji speeches is we cut the speech into small parts. We're making this assumption that the attention span of humankind has gone down. We're pretty sure that you're not one of those. So for this full speech of what we played today, you would really do yourself a favor if you look at that, hear that speech in completion. It's a long one, so you could spend 2 days doing it.
Or 3 as we've done.
As we've done. So this is really your journey, so we don't want to stop you from exploring more than what we just show you. So that's the website. learnsahajayoga.org. There are lots of talks. You're welcome to explore as many as you want.
Yeah.
So what people who meditate regularly do is to listen to at least few minutes of its speech every day.
Or as much as we can, as we have time for. Yeah. So if you need more time, you get up earlier.
That's it. So yeah, you're very welcome to do that. And if you have any questions, please put them in the chat window.
If you're on the WhatsApp groups, you might be aware that we do post the excerpts, small excerpts twice daily, one for nighttime for clearing, one for morning for meditating. That's always there. But if you've been doing that for quite some time now, you might like to go to the website and start listening to whole talks.
Yeah.
Because she does take you on a journey.
She does, yeah.
And you can be listening at the start of a talk, say during the week. If you would listen every day, you keep the context fine. So you may do 10, 15 minutes each day, as we've just done 15 minutes just now. And she takes you somewhere, and then by the end of it, you're kind of completely changed in that thought process we get stuck in. You're out of it, and you just realize something new about yourself.
Yeah.
It's a journey.
It is. You just have to do yourself a favor and invest time in it. If you think hard about it and not let your conditions tell you that you don't have time.
Yes.
You can remove some unproductive, unnecessary things from your routine and
for instance, I used to think I needed 7 hours sleep a day, but in fact you can get by with 6.5. It's fine.
Yeah. And we know
and less.
I think I have another trick. Right?
Yeah.
If you pull the plug away from the TV connection, you gain 2 hours. Easy, every day. All right. If you have any questions, please put in the chat window.
Yeah. We'll stop sharing.
Any comments, questions in the chat window?
Any questions for us? Surprise us, come on. All right, no pressure.
All right, we'll let you go.
Yeah.
See you next week. Thank you.
Thanks for joining, and that was a lovely meditation. Thank you all for your attention. It was very nice. So we'll leave you with a bit of music, some sounds of the universe. Bear with me for a minute. Open it.